Hello everyone, Ian here once again, and today I'm going to be reviewing Power Slave. And I highly doubt anybody saw it, but I did post a review of Power Slave a while, just not too long ago. But it like, for the first 10 seconds of the video, it just cut, and you can still watch the video, but it's like the audio is gone. So I'm doing it again, and hopefully that won't happen, but who knows. So, let's talk about Power Slave. It's awesome. Enough said. I mean, this can arguably be one of the greatest Iron Maiden albums of all time. I mean, every Iron Maiden fan has his opinion. You know, they may think Seventh Son of a Seventh Son is the best, or Someone in Time, you know, something like that. But I think every Iron Maiden fan can agree that this is at least one of the greatest, if not the greatest. Yep. Artwork. The artwork is probably the only thing I'm not too big on with the album. I mean, the artwork is cool and stuff, but like every artwork before this and somewhat after it, Eddie always had this. He was insane. I mean, last album he was ripping a straitjacket, you know, and I want to see Eddie go insane on the album covers, and it didn't have this on this album cover. I'm not saying that the album cover was bad. The album cover was very good. I do like it, but I think it was lacking that look. That's, you gotta have. I mean, Eddie, you know, he's gotta be a psychopath. I mean, probably my favorite cover by Iron Maiden was Peace of Mind, when he was in the straitjacket, and so, yeah, I thought it was lacking, but not saying that it's bad. It's definitely a good piece of artwork. It's very good, and yeah, it's really cool. Moving on, the production. It's the same guy who produced Killers up to Fear of the Dog, so we all know he's a good producer. I mean, he's arguably one of the best producers ever. So, yeah, he's amazing. Moving on to the music. I don't know if it's just me, or I might be crazy or something, but to me, it sounds like the bass is the loudest as it can be on this album. Like, it wasn't, I mean, it was loud on Peace of Mind. You can always hear it with Iron Maiden, but it feels like it was louder, you know? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm probably not even making any sense right now. But it just, I know it probably wasn't. I mean, the guy from producing, he probably has the same kind of producing style from Killers all the way to Fear of the Dog. And he probably just does the same kind of things every time. Maybe he might do something else with certain albums. Of course, he might have better quality with the new albums that he does, like up to Fear of the Dog. You know, like Fear of the Dog is probably the best quality because it's advanced in technology and stuff. But to me, it seems like he toned the bass up a bit on this album. To me, I mean, just saying, it's probably, to everybody else it probably sounds the same as it is, but to me it just seems a bit higher. Moving on. Guitar work is probably the best guitar work Iron Maiden has ever done. It's just everything from the guitar riff of Aces High to the riff of Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner is just awesome. I mean, there's not a single guitar riff in this album that I don't like. I mean, with some Iron Maiden albums, yeah, there might be a few, just like a teeny bit part in there that I'm not a big fan of. I definitely don't hate the guitars or anything, but I'm not a big fan of some small bits of some riffs. I'm not a big fan of them. Not saying any of them are bad, but I'm a big fan of like every guitar riff on this album. It's amazing. If you play guitar, you need to listen to this album. I mean, amazing. And then moving on to the drums, we have Nico McBrain once again, and we'll be having Nico McBrain from here on out. Pretty sure. I don't think they replaced him or anything. But yeah, the way Nico McBrain plays the drums is so unique. He can arguably be probably the most unique drummer in metal history. And it definitely shows on this album. I mean, the drumming is like nothing you've ever heard in your life. I mean, it's just amazing from start to finish. There was a few bits that were kind of like the same, like he did like the same drum beat for like the chorus and the verse, I think. I'm not sure. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. But yeah, you know Nico McBrain's drumming. It's unique. He has this completely own style that nobody else even does. And he brings that unique style into Iron Maiden. And he brought it into Iron Maiden on Peace of Mind up to every album. And this album was probably his best drum performance. I mean, I don't know, I kind of like Powerslave's drum performance that he did. I think he was better on Powerslave than Peace of Mind, because on Peace of Mind he was just in the band. I mean, he just did it. He just joined, and I mean, he was amazing on the album, but I think he didn't give 100% on the album. He probably gave like 99 or something, 98%. But it was amazing on that album, but he gives 100%. He probably even gives 120% on this album, Powerslave. It's amazing. So, even if you're a drummer, you need to listen to this album. If you play any instrument, whether it's a flute, guitar, bass guitar, even if it's not an instrument that has anything to do with this album, you're probably going to like this album. It's kind of like the same as Peace of Mind. Peace of Mind was kind of like that album that was like, it's like very musical, if you know what I'm saying. Like, very technical within the music and stuff. It had a lot of music theory going around it. Powerslave's the same way. It's got a lot of music theory. Of course, Iron Maiden's always done music theory. They have their own unique music theory. They probably created their own music theory for it, and it's amazing. So all around, this album's very good, and Bruce Dickinson, his vocals, his high screams are so amazing. This album is probably his best performance. This album has probably got the best performance from all members in the band. They all gave 100% into this album. I mean, they pretty much give 100% on pretty much every album. But I think they really, like, with most of their albums, they give 100%. They give all they got. They write the songs, they practice them, they record them, they write very good songs and stuff. But with this album, it was like, when they were writing these songs, they were almost thinking like, okay, this album, this is good. When we come out with this album, Powerslave, this is going to be one of the greatest albums of all time. And it pretty much is. So, I don't really have much to say about this album anymore. It's an amazing album. You need to listen to it. Even if you're not a metal fan, if you're not into heavy metal, listen to this album. Even if you are learning or playing, if you can play, or you are learning any kind of instrument, you need to listen to this album. Whether you like heavy metal or not, or even if you don't like Iron Maiden or not, you just need to listen to this because it's amazing. So that's all I have to say about this album here. I'm going to go ahead and close the video. I'm going to give Power Slave by Iron Maiden a 10 out of 10. It's perfect. This is probably definitely, arguably the greatest album of all time. And arguably the greatest album of all time in metal. So, see you later. 10 out of 10.